Hello again, Kaiser Soze, Maximum Carnage. This video, when things go bad, we faced a clan that was bad. They were bad attackers. They kind of just gave up over a period of time. You can see our percentage, 99.67. Should have been 100%, but we had some issues with a few of the clearances here. And although we crushed it easily, we left stars on the table, 3 stars, even though we had 99.67% destruction. So I just noticed some things in some attacks, and there was some chat, so I thought I'd go over just a couple of the fails in the war and go through the reasons for those fails, just so everyone can kind of have a chance to see what had happened and what went wrong. So here, I'm just going to pause for a second. This is Matt's attack on a brand new Town Hall 9. You can see the brand new air defense that's on there along with the archer tower. They've got the single expo out in the corner. So a few things. One is the loadout. You can see the loadout on the bottom here. He's got 9 level 3 drags, 8 of the loons, and then the clan castle troops, and he's taken Zapquake, which is the lightning and the earthquake. Here, I just want to point this out, earthquake is 8 tiles. So if you drop an earthquake, say for instance, and the edge of it hits this corner tile here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, it will take out all of these tiles, provided that you can drop that earthquake right in the middle of that wall. It will take out, that's how wide an earthquake spell is. So if we were to take a look here at a scout, and we could say, well, here's tile number 1, which is the middle of this air defense, so that's tile 1. So these all are tile 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is tile 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you can see that brings the middle. So there's 8 tiles between those 2 air defenses. This one, you just take, this is tile 1 here for this air defense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's 8 there. So a single earthquake placed on the wizard tower or a single earthquake placed on the barbarian king is going to damage both of these air defenses. So number 1, you could drop 2 lightnings on one air defense, 2 lightnings on another defense, or an earthquake in the middle, and it'll save you a poison for the clan castle or a haste if you're doing an air attack to be able to speed things up. So the loadout itself, from a spell standpoint, could have been improved. Along with that, you have to consider 8 balloons plus clan castle troops here is probably too many. You can take just balloons in the clan castle in most cases and give yourself the advantage at a Town Hall 9 of the 20 extra troop space that you can take when your army camps are up. That allows you to be able to take 11 drags, because otherwise you're basically just attacking as a Town Hall 8. If you're using 9 level 3 drags. When I was a Town Hall 8 doing drag attacks, I would take 10 level 3 drags. So it was a stronger attack, depending upon what those loons are going to be used for. So right off the bat, there's certainly some loadout choices. If you're going to take extra troops, you know, the loons that are there, again, taking out archers here is going to save 15 seconds of a potential drag run going from one corner to the next. And you could just take some archers, put them on the builders' huts, and then never have to worry about the drags running around. So we're going to hit play. We're going to see he's got a lightning going down on one air defense, and a lightning going down on the second air defense. And you can also make an argument just attacking towards the clan castle, keeping that air defense up, and zap-quaking the 2 rear air defenses may have been a better option, only because your drags will then path and follow whatever's in the clan castle. It's going to take the attention of the drags, and it's going to help them pull towards that last remaining air defense. But he takes off the 2 on the sides here, and then uses again both the earthquakes and 1 in the middle. You can see those extra rings and how much damage it does. It's 8 tiles in length, so it would have taken out both of them. So now I'm going to pause again. He's put in the archer queen, and it looks like he's going after this air defense. So the second thing, the advantage of a Town Hall 9 over a Town Hall 8 is you have an archer queen. So saying I'm going to reduce this base to having 3 air defenses, and I'm going to sacrifice my archer queen for a brand new level 1 air defense is simply just, it's not a good trade. Your archer queen can do a lot more damage and a lot more good for you than simply going in to be able to take out the air defense. So I'm going to just speed it up here. She gets this archer tower as well, it looks like. The ability was also used much too early on that. Could have kept her up for some period of time. So now we can see some troops going in for the bulk of the attack. So what do we want to do here with drags? Because this is the last remaining air defense, and we've got a lot of balloons, what are our priorities? So the priorities in this base need to be the cannon and the mortar, these two things. They will not shoot at balloons, so that's good. And then down here, you want to be able to deal with the archer tower and the mortar. The problem is the wizard tower. So when you've got wizard towers are always a problem for loons because any damage goes in, loons always clump together. So you want to distract them. So the big priorities here need to be funneling to make sure that you get onto this air defense, say, in this elixir with a drag, and same with this archer tower. You want to make sure that you're on there with drags, distracting the air defense and distracting the wizard tower with the high hit point drags before your loons come in. And you want to clear off these defenses because loons target defenses. So you want to take them out to make sure that they path directly to the air defense. So if we play it, I'm just going to go at one time so you can see. Right now the drags are taking out the center parts and they're hitting the outer trash buildings second. No drags should be deployed. These guys in the middle shouldn't have been dropped, and the Barbarian King, that doesn't need to have been dropped either. It could be to distract these two air defenses, that's fine, but putting the Barb King so it's clearing the center trash is completely the opposite of what you want. You want to clear out the far end, leaving breadcrumbs in there in the middle, because that's what you want the drags to be able to pass through to make sure that they work their way through the middle of the base. So we can see now he's got to use the rage ability on the Barbarian King. We've got the clan castle that's coming out, and he doesn't have a poison. Again, for the loadout, using that quake could have kept the poison in. That would have been a great thing. But you could see the problem now is that the drags have already been under some fire. They haven't cleared out these buildings. The balloons are coming in, and the drags are going to have to face this baby drag. The baby drag does significant damage here being raged. You can see how how much those are being dropped. Now, here's the next problem. The balloons are now in front of the drags. So they're taking all the damage from this wizard tower. Now the seeking air mines, the regular air bombs come up. The drags are wrecked. The wizards doing tons of damage, has taken out all the balloons. And you can see the drags here on the northern side have kicked up, and drags have kicked south as well. You have to create those burnout zones by taking out these areas so there's nothing for the drags to go to. So there was no funnel in there, and that didn't work. And what we've missed over here actually on the end is the clan castle. So the last thing that was bad about this raid is that the clan castle has got Valkyries in it. Now here's the problem with that. You've got an air raid, and when you have an air raid, all you have to realistically worry about is the air targeting defenses. By doing an air raid, it means you don't have to worry about cannons and mortars and things that, are on the ground. Putting in Valkyries and ground troops for an air attack just means it brings all of those ground defenses into play. So up here, wouldn't have had to worry about this cannon firing at anything. Now the cannon, the mortar, the opposite cannon, they have something to be able to shoot at only because you put on ground troops in the end. So lots wrong with that raid from the beginning in terms of the troop loadout, and lots of problems in from the deployment standpoint, understanding what makes it successful. At the end of the day, it effectively ended up making sure that it was less by taking out the two heroes, by dropping his own heroes so early, and then not bringing the extra spells, it effectively just changed the Town Hall 9 onto a Town Hall 8 to a Town Hall 8 onto a Town Hall 8 with the trades that came up. And anytime you've got a Town Hall 8 on a Town Hall 8, there's extra walls, a few extra defenses, other things for those Town Hall 8 drags to do up against the brand new Town Hall 9. And it ended up just not working out. And so certainly there's things to consider when it comes to the deployment and how to be able to scout and attack and come up with something. All right, so the next one I've got is going to be my attack, actually. This is I did Sam's attack on their number 4. Sam is my wife. She does some of her own attacks. Ronan and Alex are my kids. They do their own attacks. Alex does all Town Hall 8s. He's only 8 years old, so I do some of the Town Hall 9 attacks for him. But if it's Town Hall 8, he does it himself. So this is Sam. I did this. So I'm just going to play it, show the beginning, and then I'll fast forward because it is part of the entry fail here. So minions go down. 2 of them just to be able to start clearing the 6 o'clock trash. Again, I got to make a funnel, so my job is to take out the trash buildings on the side. I'm coming in with HGHB, so I want to leave up these center buildings as long as possible to give the bowlers and things stuff to work with. So I got the first piece of trash down. I put in the giants. The healers come up behind. I can take a look at the CC range, knowing that I don't have to worry too much. Everything's going to stay. I can be nice and patient, because the clan castle isn't going to pop until the giants are inside the wall. Now here's the fail. I got lots of whiz up here. I had thought that I had double tapped this for 2 wizards, but because the minions don't make it to deal with the cannon, and for whatever reason, I thought it was a foregone conclusion that this wizards was going to be outside of the range of that cannon. I didn't come back to check it. I could have put a wizard on this mine that would have switched to that elixir storage or elixir pump to be safe. Instead, even though it's right on the range, this cannon ends up taking out the wizard. Because of that, this elixir doesn't fall, and when the elixir pump doesn't fall, troops start getting distracted. Most importantly, my healers get distracted. They don't deal with the troops in the middle. So we'll just watch it to be able to understand this entry here. So one last thing before we move on. I chose this side, even though there was another potential, I could have come in from this side as well. The problem is this second air defense, if it's not on the wall, the bowlers want to throw at things that are just directly over the wall. So they're going to delay on this air defense. They're going to throw at this expo, but they won't throw at that air defense until other things around them have completely been taken out. On this side, I've got 2 of them that are right up along this wall. And because they're right up along this wall, that means the bowlers are going to shoot or throw the rocks at them, even though it's a little bit longer of a way to be able to get to the royal compartment, which is the other key that you want to be able to engage in. Taking out these 2 critical air defenses early meant that that side was simply a better option. So that's how come I chose to come in that side. But we can see what happens. That elixir pump is left open. Because it is up, all the rest of the trash is clear. The funnel is perfect, other than this one thing not going down. The clan castle gets popped, the poison comes in, but now you can see the issue. The healers switch to the bowlers. So healers switch based on troop space. So because the bowlers are taking some shots potentially from this mortar fire, and the royals are there, we've got them switching. So each royal is the equivalent of 25 troop space, and naturally bowlers come out, they're 30 troop space. Giants, a big herd of them like that, are more space, but they literally weren't taking fire until that clan castle engaged them. As a result, the healers switch to what they perceive to be the higher troop space that is taking damage, and they switch off the they switch off the giants. So nothing is now there for the giants. I put down a raid to try to get the queen in as soon as possible, but you can see just a couple of burps from that baby dragon, all the giants are gone. The bowlers are now left on their own. The healers switch back, much too late, so they leave those bowlers down south to die. And literally at the beginning stages of this attack, there's no giants and no bowlers. They're completely gone. So the attack fails right off the bat. All of it because this critical elixir pump wasn't taken care of. If that had have gone down, all of those troops would have still been easily alive, working their way through. No doubt in my mind it would have been a 3-star. So that's what ended up failing on that attack. And everything fell apart as a result of it. All right. So that's it for this one. I'm going to do another review coming up hopefully later today, and I might have them out over the next day or two. All right. Kaiser Soze, Maximum Carnage. More to follow.